All right, guys. No bells and a lot of bells and whistles tonight. This is a serious topic that I want to cover real fast because shout out to the person that sent this to me. Um, I hear you, sir. I hear you. But anyway, good evening, everyone. Tonight, I would like to ask the people a simple question here in Georgetown County, and that question is, how many taxes are enough? Because that's exactly what's in front of Georgetown County Council right now, a new local options sales tax. Okay, and it's moving through County Council. It's up for I think the second reading here coming up here soon. But if you're like, man, I heard of that before, well, it is because this is not the first time that it's been presented to you. And if approved, it will ultimately be up to voters to decide whether they want another 1 cent sales tax. Now, supporters of this proposal say it will provide property tax relief for homeowners and shift some tax burden to tourists and visitors. And again, now think about that. Think about the economy that we're in, and and then I want you to think about the fact that they don't have a plan for this money. They don't know what they want to do with this money, but they want to tax tourists, people that decide to come here and spend some money with us. Let's put a little extra burden on them too. Yeah. But here's the real question I have: Why are we talking about another tax when, like I just said, families are struggling to go on vacation just to make ends meet? Uh, I don't know if you've been to Myrtle Beach anytime this year, but it's not like it used to be. People can't afford to go on vacation like they used to. That's why I'm encouraging people to take up camping and different things, different ways to find ways to spend time with your family, because at every turn the government's trying to reach in your damn pocket and take more money out. And Georgetown County, here you go. Food costs, gas costs, more insurance, utility costs are going up, more housing, the cost of housing is going up, everything costs more. The average family isn't asking for another tax proposal, they're asking for some relief. Okay, y'all got all these grand ideas of what y'all want to do with these money, and people are just trying to figure out how to buy their goddamn medicine, how to again have enough food to get them through. And let's not forget, Georgetown County residents are already again paying this additional 1 cent capital project sales tax for approved infrastructure improvement, right? Now let's stop right here for a second. Let's pause right here for a second. 1 cent penny sales tax that you guys are currently paying right now. Again, on top of everything else you having to pay, you're paying that 1 cent penny sales tax, right? For capital projects. Need I remind you, these are the capital project sales tax projects from 2014, and they haven't been completed. What do you mean they haven't been completed? I mean, they haven't been completed. Again, remember that building that I just showed you was the site of some great political theater this past election cycle. But I digress. Let's stay focused on what I'm talking about here. Property taxes in Georgetown County, property owners also saw an increase in their recent tax bill for this past year. Remember, your millage rate doubled in Georgetown County. Okay, your millage rate doubled in Georgetown County, and let's not overlook the financial commitment taxpayers already have to pay toward the new county jail that they get ready to build and these other government obligations. So people have every right to ask questions. When does it stop? Ernie Cooper. But here's another something that needs to be discussed. A similar local sales options tax was rejected in Georgetown by the Georgetown County voters during the 2024 election cycle. The people spoke. Whether the margin was 56 or 50,000. That doesn't change the fact that the voters made a decision. So now the question becomes, what has changed? Has the financial burden that working families are facing, has that gotten lighter since 2024, or has that gotten heavier? That's a rhetorical question. That's why many residents are wondering why the county council believes now is the right time to ask voters to consider another sales tax. Now let's talk about District 3 and Ernie Cooper, who's elected to represent District 3 and the people who put him in office. That responsibility requires listening, Mr. Cooper, not just speaking. It requires accountability, not silence, not ghosting people, Councilman Cooper. Councilman Cooper believes this proposal is in the best interest of Georgetown County. That's the way he voted and everything else. So that's why would he do anything else? And what am I saying? How do I know that? Because he got in the way of some business between Georgetown County and the city of Georgetown with his vote when he voted on the purchase of that customs building there. Anyway, I digress. So he should explain tomorrow. Y'all see him, or Sunday when y'all see him, ask him, how does this new tax benefit the people that he's always talking about doing work for? Ask him, how does this benefit the people? Explain why. Ask him to explain why this is going to be beneficial to you. And if he hits you with I don't think that this is the right time, he should have the courage to vote no, because leadership isn't about uh, going along and get along. We talk about that all the time. Leadership is about standing with your constituents, especially when they're already feeling financial pressure. Now, let's be fair. Supporters of this loss proposal argue that visitors who shop and spend money in Georgetown County would help generate revenue and reduce property tax burden for qualifying homeowners. That's an argument voters deserve to hear and evaluate, but voters also deserve clear answers. How much property tax relief will the average homeowner actually receive? Will that saving outweigh the family's spending, paying the additional sales tax throughout the year? These are questions that we gotta ask. How will renters be affected? A lot of people moving into the Airbnb business. How will these moves affect you and your family's property that you're trying to get some generational wealth out of? How will seniors on fixed income be affected? How will working families with children be affected? Those are all those none of that what I just said is political. None of that is political. None of those are political questions. What they are is practical questions. And before anyone asks taxpayers to pay another penny, they should have already been on the table. Those taxes should have already been on the table. At the end of the day, this isn't about Republicans or Democrats. This isn't about personality. This is about priorities of government and obligations to show taxpayers that every dollar that they're collecting is being spent wisely before asking for more. The people of Georgetown County work hard as hell for the money. They deserve transparency. They deserve accountability. They deserve elected officials to remember exactly who and why they were elected and who they work for. Now, this is the part where some of you've been watching here for a whole however long. I've been talking 13 minutes. I got some questions for you. I want to hear what you think. Do you believe Georgetown County needs another 1 cent tax? That's the first question. Do you believe Georgetown needs another 1 cent tax? Another question is, do you believe this proposal will actually provide meaningful tax relief? If you're not a property owner that owns some kind of property, vehicles, or do you should or do you or are you of the belief that the county council should focus on controlling spending before asking taxpayers for more money? So y'all get in the comment section and let's have a respectful conversation about this. If you found this discussion informative, do like my man Chris did and hit the like button so that you'll be privy to these conversations as we get ready to have. How much is enough? I know who I am, Jamal Richardson. You know what this is. Andrews the podcast. We out.